Welcome to another match week in the Jamaica Premier League. Match week 19 in fact, and we're here at the beautiful grounds of Jamaica College in Kingston, Jamaica, an establishment that has been around, an institution that has been around since 1789. And that's the first match of the day, Harbour View against Tivoli Gardens here at the Ashenine Stadium. And what an event it promises to be. Having a look at the weather here, 63% humidity, 28 degrees Celsius, and well, a lovely breeze at the moment of 27 kilometers per hour. Let's have a look at the match results for match week 18. Of course, Portmore United and Mount Pleasant were postponed because of the 5 players that Mount Pleasant had in the national setup. Cavalier defeated Dumbleholding by 3-1. Tivoli Gardens and Falkland played to a goalless draw. Waterhouse got the better of Chapelton Maroons by 3-2. A 1-1 draw between Arnett Gardens and Mobe United, and Molynes destroyed Veer United by 4-0. Harbour View finished it off with a 1-0 victory over Humble Lion. These are how the standings look. Arnett Gardens still on top, 18 games played, 37 points. Mount Pleasant a game in hand, they are on 36. Cavalier, Harbour View, Humble Lion and Waterhouse finish out the top 6 playoff spots. Dumbleholding, who we'll see later on, just outside, as well as Portmore, the Chapelton Maroons and Falkland in the relegation zone and needing to get out. Tivoli Gardens in 11th position, and there who will be seen first, coming up against 4th placed Harbour View. And what a matchup that plans to be. Let's have a look at the fixtures for match week 19. Harbour View against Tivoli Gardens, that's our first match here. Humble Lion will be playing Arnett Gardens. Mobe United against Veer United. Waterhouse and Mount Pleasant, that should be a mouth-watering clash. Dumbleholding and Portmore, our second match of the afternoon. Molynes come up against Chapelton Maroons, and Falkland, they will take on the high-flying Cavalier. Well, Harbour View versus Tivoli Gardens. Let's hear what the coaches had to say. First of all, Harbour View Technical Director, or Head Coach, Ludlow Bernard.
Ludlow, defending champions and in a playoff position at the moment. How satisfied are you with where Harbour View are?
Well, very satisfied. However, not complete. This is where we were at the beginning. Well, after 5 games in the first round. So we are going into a territory now where we would have been conceding points to the opponent, playing against Tivoli Gardens, Cavaliers, Portmore, Waterhouse. So this is the first of such games, and we want to really come here and do well and ensure that we go away with 3 points.
Yeah, Humble Lion have been a pretty tough team in recent weeks. You got by them last week. How satisfied were you with that result?
Pretty pleased with the performance of the lads. I think they really gave it a very good effort. Humble Lion is always a decent and a very strong team to play against. But that resilience that was showed us at that time, should put us in good stead for the upcoming games, including this one.
2 quality players inserted into your starting roster today, Anglin and Staple.
Yeah.
What was the thinking behind that, and how much are you expecting from them
well,
today?
both were assuming national responsibilities at the time, and now that they have returned, we would have wanted to inject a bit more quality into the team. We have also had some injuries as well, so their presence is a welcome return to the squad.
And finally, we had some rain here on Thursday, a lot of rain actually.
Yes.
We know the conditions of the field, several fields would have been a talking point recently. How much do you expect that the rain that we had in the past 3 or 4 days will be better for this
Yeah,
team?
well, the Jamaica College pitch is usually a very dry and tough pitch. We are hoping that the rains that was received there will probably give it a bit of cushion and enable good football. I think a game of this quality deserves good football, and a good surface will certainly enhance that.
Well, O'Shane Staple, there he is, one of the players returning from national duty, and he's our player to watch this afternoon. The high-flying right back, who was the highest scoring wing back last season with 5 goals, and he has 1 so far this season. Loves to overlap, gets down the flank areas, and obviously he will add to the potency of the Harbour View attack. We look forward to seeing what O'Shane Staple will bring today with the added experience of the national team. Let's hear what Jermaine Teddy Johnson had to say from a struggling Tivoli Gardens perspective.
Teddy Johnson, must be frustrating for you as a successful striker in your playing days to see your team struggling to get goals. No goals from any of your players in the last 5 matches. There was an own goal for you a couple of weeks ago. How nerve-wracking is that?
It's very depressing, but we have to just go out there and just keep working all the time and try to get the chances and try to score. So that's where we're at the moment. We just need to just be positive all the time and just go out there and do our best.
Yeah, you scored a lot of goals in England, Oldham, Sheffield Wednesday, Bradford. You scored in the USA as well. At 42 years old, no temptation to lace up the boots and get some Tivoli goals?
Sometimes, but the body is not right, so still trying to just do the right thing and coach a team.
Okay, last time against Harbour you were 1-1.
Yeah.
How do you assess what happened in that game, and how do you plan for this match now?
I think it's they have a change of team, so we just, as I said before, we just have to just go out there and just try to work hard and just try to get the 3 points.
Physically, or let me say technically, how are you addressing in the training sessions your lack of scoring?
We try to do more shooting each day before we start doing anything else, and then we try to do fitness work. So that's where we're at the moment.
Alton Lewis, though, their player to watch, not amongst the goals so far this season, but recently acquired from Fair United. Played for right back at Fair United, now in a more advanced role. Will be playing on the right-hand side of the 5-man midfield, Alton Lewis. But his energy down the wide areas and getting balls into the box is his skill. Very strong on the ball as well, Alton Lewis, and he'll be hoping to provide for the Tivoli Gardeners strikers. Well, we go to a break. When we come back, starting lineups and more Jamaica Premier League action, match week 19. Welcome back to the grounds of Jamaica College, the Asher 9 Stadium to be exact. And it's Harbourview versus Tivoli Gardens, match week 19 in the Jamaica Premier League. Harbourview, the defending champions and currently in 4th position on the table. Tivoli Gardens struggling and in 11th at the moment, and we'll be hoping to make amends today. Let's have a look at the head-to-head. It's always been a keen battle, and as we can see, the last 2 results draws. A 1-1 draw earlier this season, which came in December, and then the 2 results last season, a 3-3 draw, Harbourview, Tivoli Gardens, and then of course Harbourview getting the better of them initially last season by 2-1. Tivoli also had a 3-1 win over Harbourview. That was 2 seasons ago. And yeah, as you can see here, 2 wins for Tivoli in that, a win for Harbourview and 2 draws. But based on recent form, obviously Harbourview seemed the more dangerous of the 2. My name is Chris Taylor. I'm here with Lance Whitaker, of course. And Lance, it's been a matchup that over the course of time, if you're to look at everything, has probably edged in Tivoli's favour. But on recent form, I think Harbourview are in the clear.
Yeah, and the fact is that Tivoli are only not threatened by relegation at the moment because Falkland and Chapelton Maroons are doing so poorly, because Tivoli's recent form has been really, really woeful. And I think they're having an issue with confidence, Chris. Sometimes when attacking players are failing to get goals and missing scoring opportunities, it's a case of self-belief, and they need to start getting some goals and get their confidence back. I don't think they'll make the playoffs anymore, but at least they could close off the regular season with some good results.
Yeah, well, as we said, they currently sit in 11th position, just 18 points, 1 behind Moulines in 10th position, but 16 goals scored overall as the 2 teams start to walk out. Of course, Tivoli Gardens in their orange and black, and the Stars of the East, Harbourview, in their usual yellow and blue, but just 16 goals scored. And let me tell you, 523 minutes they have gone Tivoli Gardens without scoring a goal, and that's major concern.
Yeah, well, without one of their players scoring a goal.
Yeah, well, of course, there was an own goal in the 4-1 loss 2 rounds ago, but yet they haven't scored a goal in 523 minutes.
Yeah, that's shocking. Their last goal came on the 5th of February from Nakil Wright, which was a scorcher. I think it was probably the goal of the week.
Yeah.
So it is a little incongruous to think that they would have scored such a brilliant goal in early February and no more goals since that.
And they took the lead in that game. It was a 17th minute strike by Nakil Wright, and then only going on to lose that game eventually. So that's been a struggle as well.
He's on the bench today, by the way.
Nakil, yeah. The fact that they would have gotten in winning positions and then not been able to maintain it, and that's been a big deal. Well, Harbourview at the start of the year, they had a few struggles themselves, but have gotten it together. 2 wins on the trot for Harbourview, and solid in 4th position. As we see the 2 captains, there are the officials for the day. The #1 central referee in Jamaica, referee Damian Parchment, Nicholas Anderson, Ricardo McKenzie, and Narissa Golson, his able assistants.
Damian Parchment actually did the 2017 final that Arnett Garnes defeated Portmore United by 2-1 in. Hasn't done a lot of finals because a lot of times he has overseas duties.
This is a Harbourview starting 11. Anthony Bennett, the teenager, in the goal. Ryan Wellington, the captain. Romain Breckenridge, Erdelin Hardin, Roger Smith, Timar Lewis, Kasim Priestley, Colorado Murray, Joshua Anglin, Demar Rose, and O'Shane Staple. They play with a 4-3-3 formation, and Staple and of course Joshua Anglin back into the starting line plans.
Yeah, Anglin, a very, very solid player, big, strong, had spent some time in the USA in the MLS a couple of seasons ago, and they're looking forward to a strong game from him today.
Tivoli Gardens, this is their starting 11. Nicholas Clark back between the sticks. Well, he's now a regular between the sticks for Tivoli Gardens yet again. Christopher Matthews, the youngster, wears the number 66. Barrington Price, their old team captain, is back in the starting lineup in a 3-man backline. Odine Pennycook, Tiffany Garnett, Anthony Thompson, Alton Lewis, Tommy Lawrence, Natalia Fuller, the youngster from Excelsior, Anthony Nelson, and Diego McKenzie back in the starting lineup as well. They will play with a 3-5-2, lads.
Yeah, Fuller and McKenzie will be given the jobs of scoring here, which is a huge problem for Tivoli, as we just highlighted. But the midfield men will be trying to supply them with scoring opportunities. And let's hope for Coach Teddy Johnson's sake that his Tivoli team can get some goals today.
And they're off.
Sounds like a horse race, Chris. Your heart came out as part.
Might feel that way. Diego Mackenzie, though, back into the starting lineup, just 18 years of age. Mackenzie, he is the leading goal scorer for them with 3 goals, was out with injury, and you'd have to think that that's a positive for Tivoli Gardens and Jermaine Johnson that he's back in. So it's actually 2 teenagers leading the attack in Fuller and Mackenzie.
Yeah, well, Teddy Johnson has tried everything, hasn't he? Because he really needs to get his team scoring goals.
Rose. Looking here for Timar Lewis on the flank, goes out for a throw. So Shane Staple with the ball back in his regular position. Such an attacking threat he was for Harbourview last season. He hasn't been as potent this season, but he certainly strengthens the overall team when he's there.
Yeah, that's for sure. Very, very hot conditions. The pre-match graphics did suggest 28 degrees Celsius. Chris, it feels a bit hotter, even though there's a bit of wind here.
Ludlow Bernard, the head coach, alongside Sean Fraser, former national player himself. Sean Fraser, Ludlow Bernard, of course, has done it all at the schoolboy level and won his first Premier League title last season with Harbourview. Looking to do it again. It's been well, he has had his frustrations, let us say.
Yeah.
A few weeks ago, he had some 3 losses in a row, and he was very frustrated with how his team was performing. They have somewhat gotten it together, and considering they have been without some of their regular starters and still been able to get the wins, that's a good sign for him. Of course, Nicholas Hamilton, another regular starter, and their leading goal scorer is away in Finland, so on a trial. So obviously that's a big miss for them as well.
Yeah, Bernard had a good 2022 season, was an award winner at the Jamaica RGR Sports Foundation National Awards back in January, was an award winner, Ludlow Bernard.
No surprise, because he would have lifted trophies with Kingston College initially, and then right after that with Harbourview.
Yeah.
So a big accomplishment for him. Then decided he had had enough of schoolboy football and he was going to concentrate on doing more things at the senior level.
Yeah, very, very solid coach. Remember, he won Walker Cup titles with Wilmers as well.
Wilmers,
before
right. You would always remember that last.
with Kingston College.
Tivoli, a team of serious pedigree, but the last couple of seasons have been very difficult for them. They've ended up in, for them, strange positions in terms of the table. Getting forward now to Mackenzie, broken up there at the back line by Breckenridge.
Yeah, Breckenridge has matured a lot. I remember him in his previous time playing for Tivoli Gardens. He was a fairly regular red card viewer.
Yeah.
And
he's been around a while now 28 years of age.
Yeah.
So.
Well, after Tivoli, he had spent some time at Portmore, didn't he?
Yeah.
So, but he looks a lot more mature now and a lot more measured in how he carries out his defensive work.
Does play off the bench sometimes, especially when Ajani Talbot is fit and available. But with Talbot being out, Breckenridge, he's come in and he's done a good job. There's Tamara Lewis getting it to Demar Rose. Lewis battling for it, but it's well handled by Keno Simpson. Tamara Lewis had a real purple patch in terms of goal scoring, 5 goals in quick succession, but well, it seems like a long time now since he's found the back of the net.
Yeah.
Here he is fighting, comes back to Nicholas Clark, one of the best schoolboy keepers of the modern generation when he was at Heidel. Demar Rose over the top. That's an inaccurate pass. Didn't have a good game last time out against Humble Lion. Demar Rose, a player which I'd say in the Jamaica Premier League, where they've struggled to find really creative players and players with a lot of vision, that he's been a shining light with that. But his last game, he was very wayward, gave away the ball a lot, and eventually was taken off. I think Ludlow was frustrated with him. We'll be hoping for a better outing today. Looking to get into the box. It's broken up by Wellington.
Not too sure what happened. Is that Stapledown?
Yeah, just stopped by Daniel Parchment. Jermaine Teddy Johnson, former national player himself, has scored 12 goals for the national team over the spate of his career. Did play in the English Premier League for Bolton Wanderers when he was on loan from Sheffield Wednesday. Bradford assistant, now the head coach of Tivoli Gardens, of course, won the Golden Boot in 2016-17, where he scored 16 goals for Tivoli Gardens. A real standout season it was for him after his English exploits. Played over 200 games for Sheffield Wednesday.
Yeah. Also Oldham Athletic and Bradford City.
Bradford
Did spend
City,
a brief time in the USL in North America as well before coming back to the Premier League in Jamaica.
See, one of the fastest players they've seen in the Premier League. That's an awkward challenge. Tivoli coming forward into the area. Out to Simpson. Simpson. He's well closed on his time by Staple. Well, there's a whistle play and there's a penalty. Well. Anthony Bennett coming out to make the challenge. And Daniel Parchment points to the spot. He wants to hear nothing of it. And just like that, a real opportunity for Tivoli Gardens. That was an awkward challenge there by Staple. He allowed that to go, Daniel Parchment. Then Simpson into the area. And that's why it was Breckenridge here. And then, was that Diego McKenzie was getting into the area?
I think it was. I'm trying to figure out who was Breckenridge or the goalkeeper that tripped him.
Yeah. There comes Breckenridge. He's looking to shield him. I think it was Nelson. Nelson.
Maybe Nelson. But the contact was made. I don't think referee Parchment had a choice there. Had to go to the penalty spot. Is it Price that's going to strike it?
Barrington Price is setting up. So 523 plus 6, 529 minutes without a goal, Tivoli Gardens. And even if they score this, we could still say in open play.
Yeah.
So this from the penalty spot. What an opportunity for the 11th place Tivoli Gardens. Barrington Price, already a goal on the season. 11 in his Premier League career from 12 yards. Price, it's in the back of the net.
Perfect penalty, unstoppable. Just glancing off the inside of the post there, Barrington Price, and significant that the job of taking a penalty is given to a central defender because the midfielders and the attackers haven't been scoring goals recently.
Former team captain for some time, Barrington Price, lost the captain's armband to Pennycook, and in fact was on the bench for a while, Price, but now with a three-man back line, he's been brought back in, and he is the man to put Tivoli Gardens ahead against Harbourview after just 8 minutes. What a start for Tivoli Gardens.
Yeah, you know, the coach Jermaine Teddy Johnson told us before the match started that they've done a lot of work in training with shooting and getting goals, and they need to get their confidence back, because usually when teams are having a goal drought, it affects the psyche and it affects the confidence level of the players that are tasked with the responsibility of scoring goals. And even though this was a penalty from Barrington Price here, he's had like 10 years experience in the Premier League, this will lift them for sure.
Yeah, big goal for Tivoli Gardens, and he couldn't have been even more precise off the upright into the back of the net. No chance for Anthony Bennett between the sticks. Yeah, 1-0 Tivoli. That's 17 goals on the season for the orange and black of Tivoli Gardens. Work for them to do, Harbourview. And it must be said, the last time out in December, that 1-1 draw, it was Tivoli Gardens who took the lead through Tommy Lawrence on that afternoon, only to give up a goal later on, and that ended 1-1. So not an unusual happening here with Tivoli going ahead.
An untidy start here for Harbourview. They had a couple of moments at the back in the opening minutes here where they were a little bit hasty because Tivoli were showing their intentions to put some pressure on early.
Yeah, really pressing the 18-yard area of the Harbourview third is Tivoli Gardens. And that's how they need to play. They need to be positive from the get-go.
Yeah.
Staple in a central position, does well, gets the foul. So yeah, confirmation coming in is actually, it was Diego McKenzie who was fouled by Anthony Bennett that led to the penalty, converted by Barrington Price.
to Harbourview's credit, they're not the kind of team that will panic from going behind early. They play a very good passing game.
And here is Staple on one of his overlapping runs as usual, looking for the foul. He won't get it though. And it's shielded by strong Barrington Price.
Yeah, Price is not an easy defender to contend with as an attacking player. He's over 200 pounds strong, and whenever you're into a 50-50 situation with him, you've got to brace yourself for a very, some strong combat.
Yeah, what I would think Harbourview would be looking to do is to get him out into wide areas since they're playing with that three-man backline, because he's not the fastest. Anyhow, here's Diego Mackenzie getting forward again, looking for his partner in Fuller. And yeah, it's broken up eventually and cleaned by Anthony Bennett.
Yeah, Fuller's first touch needed to be a little better there. The ball just popping up from his boot and inviting the challenge from the defender. If he had a cleaner first touch, then he would more likely have been able to do something positive.
Jermaine Johnson found him from Excelsior High School. He's played Manning Cup for Excelsior Fuller and loved his energy and what he brought to the squad in training. And he's rewarded him with a starting place, especially because Tivoli have been struggling to score. A teenage front line for Tivoli Gardens.
Yeah, of course, it wouldn't be anything new to see a Fuller dominating for Tivoli Gardens.
Yeah.
Ricardo Fuller had his embryonic years as a footballer there, and of course had a successful career in England as well.
Stoke City legend.
I heard Tony Pulis speaking very glowingly about his time with Ricardo Fuller in a podcast recently. He did highlight some of the negatives and how difficult he was the coach and how to manage. Yeah. But he certainly got the job done on the field, and Pulis liked him a lot. Yeah, he would make references to things like when he went back to Jamaica for a friendly international and so on. He was due back on the Tuesday. On Friday, he still didn't return. So he got held up. Flight problems.
And all those things. Yeah. Rose with an awkward back pass. Breckenridge was up under pressure. Had to clear in a rush, and it goes out for a throw.
Always difficult for these 3 o'clock matches as well, Chris. You're a former player yourself, and you know how the 3 o'clock sun is very, very taxing. And you almost get...
Well, there's another awkward back pass. Timar Lewis almost getting in.
Yeah.
And Nicholas Kalako's foul was clipped. And a whistle on the play from Daniel Parchment, bailing out the Tivoli goalkeeper.
Yeah. Yeah, a little bit short that pass back, but...
Yeah, here was just a clip with the left foot from Timar Lewis.
Invariably in these kinds of temperatures where the sun is hot as it is at 3 o'clock, you will get tired after 10-15 minutes. It's that second and third wind that you will depend on to get your energy back, but not easy conditions.
Here's Tivoli into the area. Fuller, and yeah, it goes out for a goal kick.
Yeah, put on a constant pressure there. Credit to the Harbourview defence line for not allowing him the comfort to dribble through on goal.
Yeah. Quite some speed from the youngster, showed good strength there.
Yeah.
Just unable to make his way.
Harbourview coach Bernard said pre-match, Chris, that he's very comfortable with where they are at the moment, 4th in the table, and pretty comfortable as far as their playoff spots are concerned, unless they completely fail their remaining games. So they should be okay.
Yeah, he'll be hoping that the worst is behind them. Those triple losses in the month of January that really cost them ground at some point. But yeah, 9 wins from his 18 matches, Ludlow Bernard, 32 points. And if you think about it, if you look at the 7th place team, they're on 25 points. So he has a 7-point gap.
Yeah, should be okay. He should be okay.
Of course, 26 matches in the first round, and this is match week 19, so that's what, 7 after this. Tivoli with the majority of the possession and all the goals at this time, and certainly more attacking impetus from Tivoli Gardens, really looking to press the Harbourview back line and not doing a bad job of it so far. An 8th-minute penalty awarded, and Barrington Price, the converter, his second of the season. Tivoli Gardens number 5, he's been there for such a long time now, Barrington Price. Anthony Bennett, the cause, with an ill-timed challenge, of course. Now with the number 1 between the sticks, with Amal Knight migrating to the USA. First corner of the game. With this 27-kilometer-an-hour wind, the ball not staying on the spot. Comes out to Fuller. Fuller with a strike, and miscues it badly, and it will go out for a goal kick.
Yeah, but ambitious attempt there, and signs that this young player is willing to make attempts.
He's confident.
Yeah, he has the confidence to go at goal at this top flight level.
Here's Harding. Harding inside. That's a misplaced pass, but it's broken up well by Anglin. Rose forward to Murray. Murray, goalkeeper Nicholas Clark, out of the goal in no man's land really, and lucky to get away with that. And had Colorado Murray looked up a bit earlier, he might have gone for goal right away, because what was Nicholas Clark doing so far out of his goal?
Error in judgment for real. I think he was helped significantly by his defense line, because they came back and covered very well. Their tracking back was good, and Murray had few good passing options to slide the ball inside for. So that is part of the reason to me why he took so long to make the pass.
Yeah.
He didn't see a clear channel through.
Nice build up here, strike from outside the area. That was ambitious if there was ever any. That one coming in from, was it Anglin with the right boot from some way out. Fresh out of his national team call-up, Joshua Anglin. Does add a lot to the midfield.
Yeah. Kingston Technical in his Manning Cup days.
Yeah.
Very strong player, good solid midfield player.
Spent some time in the US as well, Anglin.
With Miami FC, I think.
Yeah. Done by Smith, and it's broken up there. Staple with a throw. This is actually a fixture that O'Shane Staple quite enjoys. He scored twice against Tivoli Gardens in 2022.
Yeah.
Scored in the 3-all draw and scored in the 2-1 win, did O'Shane Staples. So he might be looking to get forward a little bit more than usual. Anyhow, it's on the opposite flank. Here is Lewis trying to play a 1-2 with Colorado Murray, but it's broken up by Price. Price looking for McKenzie, but that was played behind him, and they turn over the ball yet again. Harding, who once wore the captain's armband for Harbourview as well. That's a nice pass played by Rose. Harding into the area, and let me tell you, that was great defensive work by Dean Pennycook, who was one of the best centre-backs in the league last season.
Yeah. And
a vital touch there. He's pretty quick as well, is Pennycook.
Yeah, I remember getting several MVP awards in the 21 season as well, when most of the games were played at the Horace Burrell Centre of Excellence at UWI Mona.
Or the AstroTurf.
Yeah, very, very good player, Pennycook. But a good counter transition play there for the Harbourview team just now, and a real chance opened up for them. Good work by Pennycook.
Yeah, first corner for Harbourview will be taken by Anglin. Anglin into the area, can't beat the first defender, and it's out for a throw. Anthony Thompson with the clearance. There's a throw, looking for the captain Wellington, who obstructs Anthony Nelson, and it will be a free kick.
Very experienced player, Wellington, part of the Portmore title-winning team back in 2019. Also spent some time at Cavalier, and now leader of this Harbourview unit. We were suggesting that Harbourview's position at the moment reasonably comfortable, but not out of the woods yet. Clark looking to have some discomfort at the moment.
Yeah, I just wonder if it was that clip from Timar Lewis earlier.
Yeah.
Maybe about 10 minutes ago, and he is favouring the ankle area, it seems. Might be causing him some problems.
Yeah.
We haven't seen the the reserve keeper up off the bench yet warming up.
Well, I guess the medic will make a decision here based on how he is.
Portmore team.
Yeah, they're tackling Dunbeholden and the St. Catherine derby coming up.
What an interesting match that will be.
Yeah, I was saying that Harbourview at the moment, Chris, are in a position, they're on a 3-game winning streak, which is the best winning streak in the league at the moment. So you would want to think that in their current 4th position here, 7 points clear, or 7 points in the comfort zone, that they should be okay. But they still have to be alert to these results.
Yeah, opportunity inside the area yet again. It's a rebound. Wow, that's off the crossbar. And that should have been in the back of the net. Trying to pick out who it was with that opportunity.
Yeah,
what a chance that was for Tivoli Gardens to double their lead.
Yeah, that should have been 2-0 for Tivoli.
Was that Thompson? I think it was Thompson running into the area. That should have been finished by Thompson.
Yeah, but again, Chris, I mentioned at the top about confidence, and when you're playing 4 or 5 matches in a row without getting goals, it affects your confidence. And yes, it was Thompson there from point blank range, goalkeeper alone to beat, smashing the ball onto the crossbar.
Hasn't scored so far this season, Anthony Thompson, and really should have opened his account there. And what an opportunity that was for Tivoli Gardens, and it will add to the frustration of Jermaine Johnson. Again, Harbourview opened up a little bit too easily for the liking of Ludlow Bernard, and lucky to get away with that. Here they come again. Fulham in the wide areas. Good skill by the youngster, trying to get by Demar Rose, and it's broken up. Now to Anglin. Let me tell you, one thing that Jermaine Teddy Johnson will be happy about is the energy levels of Tivoli Gardens in these first 24 minutes or so. Foul on the play by Kasim Priestley, but yeah, Tivoli,
yeah,
they are intense. The intensity is good. The tempo of their game, excellent so far. Can they keep it up? Simpson gives it away in a dangerous area. Comes to Rose. Rose, just a little bit too much on that, so it's going to carry Colorado Murray wide. Rose into the area, and it's into the back of the net.
Brilliant.
Well, Timar Lewis, we did say he was on a goal-scoring drought after his handful of goals earlier in the season, but he adds number 6, Timar Lewis, into the ground, into the back of the net, and past Nicholas Clark, and just like that, it's all square here at the Ashenine Stadium. Harbourview 1, Tivoli 1.
Brilliant team goal it was. Colorado Murray with the back heel and the immediate cross from Demar Rose, finding Timar Lewis with a powerful, accurate header on goal. And he says thanks to his teammates, because he knows that it was their combination of passes on the right flank that set him up with a goal. Really, really good team goal that was, with Murray to Rose and Lewis with the finish.
We spoke about the vision and the creativity of Demar Rose, and that has been something over the course of his career from a youngster at Wolmer's that has been highlighted, and there's another example of it. That is what they want in this Harbourview team. Didn't even need a touch,
yes,
Rose, and it was pinpoint in terms of the accuracy right onto the head of Lewis, and it was a good finish. Heading it into the ground first,
yeah,
was wise.
Unstoppable, yeah, unstoppable.
Excellent header by Lewis.
And now Thompson's missed opportunity for Tivoli a few minutes ago now comes into focus again. Because with that goal, they would have been 2-0 up Tivoli, and now they would still be leading with Timar Lewis's strike.
And I'm sure it would have deflated Harbourview
Yeah.
a bit as well to go 2 down so early. Looking to come forward again. Simpson runs into, is that Breckenridge?
Yes.
The card is out from Danian Parchment. Not sure how intentional it was from Breckenridge. It almost looked like both players running for the ball and colliding, but Parchment has seen it differently.
Yeah. Yeah, Breckenridge.
Yeah. Oh, the boot was high, Lance.
Yeah,
the right foot very high. I mean, Simpson is holding his head, but I thought his midriff was in more problems there. Anyhow, the yellow card is out for Breckenridge.
Yeah, so the
first of the afternoon.
Yeah, I highlighted at the top of the broadcast that he had been previously a player that got a lot of red cards, Breckenridge, because he tended to be reckless with his challenges.
The curse of Lance Whitaker. He will be hoping it stays as a yellow. Simpson is down.
Yeah, so Harbourview drawing level here, and it was Keno Simpson's missed pass in the midfield.
Right, which let it loose to DeMar Rose.
Yeah, and set up the transition play for Harbourview. So Simpson, who has worked hard in the first part of the game here, and now in some discomfort because of that Breckenridge challenge.
It was an awful pass right into the center of the field, but it came to DeMar Rose, and if you look at that play from the holistic point of it, DeMar Rose picking up that ball there with the outside of the boot, lovely pass, and then getting back there to create the cross into the area.
Because he saw that Colorado Moore was needed some assistance because he was being cornered near to the flag.
Young Fuller is going to take this free kick. I make it some 30 yards out, can't beat the wall. Maybe more like 25 yards out from Fuller, quite ambitious there. Anyhow, Tivoli still have it. Takes the hand.
Yeah, Harding.
Garnett, is it?
I think it was. Harding's arm went up immediately, appealing for the handball.
So 1 apiece.
Yeah.
Barrington Price after 8 minutes. Timar Lewis after 25.
Yeah, I was making the point earlier that although Harbourview are playoff bound, they are not fully out of the woods yet, because we still have like 7 rounds of football remaining, 7 or 8 rounds of football remaining. So Harbourview wouldn't have been comfortable with trailing 1-0, so they've got to get back here and get the result and keep their playoff bid on tap.
And they are in 4th position, leading 7th place, double holding by 7 points currently. So
yeah, 2 losses there and 2 double holding wins, and that lead is wiped off. So not trying to suggest that Harbourview are completely safe.
No,
it's just that based on their current form and
3 wins in a row,
and their quality coming off 3 wins, they should be okay.
And let's go further than 3 wins in a row. It's actually 4 wins in 5 games.
Yeah.
And the other result was a draw. So it's 4 wins and a draw in their last 5 games. So excellent results. If you think about that, that's what, 13 points out of a possible 16.
Yeah.
Out of a possible 15, sorry. So excellent run for Ludlow Bernard and his team. And that came right after his heavy levels of frustration, where he actually lost it in an interview as well, Ludlow Bernard, and was very upset at the commitment from some of his players, and in fact benched some of his regular starters as well. Well, it was a real wake-up call for them.
Yeah.
And they have gotten their act together anyhow. Here's Anglin. Priestley. Harding to Lewis. Lewis operating from the left-hand side of things now. Nice build-up play. DeMar Rose closed down though, and it will be a Harbourview throw nonetheless.
Yeah, the stutter that you just referenced there with Harbourview, they'd gone 8 games when they had only scored 2 goals. 2 goals in 8 games, and then 8 goals in 3 matches, repairing the scoring issues that they had had.
Of course, Timor Lewis's 6th goal now makes him joint leading goal scorer with Nicholas Hamilton in the team.
Yeah.
And it's easily his best season as a Premier League player, Timor Lewis, in terms of goal scoring.
Yeah, started his Premier League campaign with Sandals, who spent 1 year in Premier League football and were immediately relegated, Sandals. Himself and Jamar Purcell, who played for Cavalier and now plays for Arnett, were both a part of that Sandals setup. But I think the salient point here is that I think Timor Lewis has enough quality to be scoring more goals in the Premier League.
And a very good left foot. But I think, as you said, his performances have been hot and cold, and that has been a frustrating factor for Ludlow Bernard. But when he did go on that goal scoring, that purple patch, I think everyone was saying it's about time.
Yes.
Based on what he had shown.
Yeah, 4 goals he has scored in that 6-1 win over Falkland back in December, early December. So the fact that he scored 4 goals in 1 match and now has 6 for the entire season tells you that he has spent a lot of time not scoring goals. It was a hat-trick that he had against Falkland.
And the 4th one was taken away. In fact, I think that's still in the boardroom, so it might be a toss-up as to whether he really has 7 goals or 6 goals, but it was given as an own goal, I think, officially.
Yes.
And he was only rewarded with a hat-trick. Anyhow, build-up play again. That's short from Colorado Murray, who I can tell you his best season in the Premier League actually came at Tivoli Gardens back in 2017-18. Anyhow, that will be easy goalkeeping work. Well, it was supposed to be for Anthony Bennett.
Lost his footing. Did have a fairly tidy season in 2019 as well, Colorado Murray. And he was among the leading scorers.
Was at Waterhouse at that time.
Yeah.
Made the transfer to Waterhouse. Scored 12 goals that season, did Colorado Murray. And when he won the Golden Boot in 2018-19, it was a 13-goal performance that won the award. So, as you said, 25 goals in 2 seasons. Good. Then it kind of fell away for him at Waterhouse and then since moved. 7 goals last season, including an MVP award in the final last season. But I think he wants to be scoring more goals than this season.
Yeah.
He's
back where he started. Originally a Harbourview player, even though he had travelled away from Harbourview before.
Right, just 3 goals so far this season. And in fact, he was one of the players that lost his starting place for a few matches. Nice ball. Looking for McKenzie.
Brackenridge solid there with a challenge.
Yeah.
On a yellow card, remember, for that Keno Simpson challenge. So he would now have to be careful for the remainder of the game.
Harbourview making good use of the small spaces within the midfield. Trying to force it there is Anglin. That was a bad pass by Rose.
Yeah.
Out now to Fuller, the youngster from Excelsior. Good skill by Fuller and a nice pass looking for McKenzie, but he's well covered by the captain Wellington. And he's fouled as well, is Wellington. Not easy to get around Ryan Wellington.
Yeah.
That was painful. Diego McKenzie, 18 years of age, 3 goals on the season. Started the season very well. Did the Tivoli number 8, but then injuries took over. And just really getting back into the starting lineup. I'm sure it will take him a while before he gets back his momentum.
Yeah, I think Wellington could be in some trouble here because he isn't able to walk properly. Yeah, let's see what happened here.
That's a clip. Really step on the back of by the Achilles. I think he'll be okay. It'll be sore.
Okay.
I think he'll be able to walk. There's still a grimace on his face there. But I don't think he looks overly concerned.
Happily for the players, the sun has gone, Chris. So the skies are overcast at the moment, so the conditions not as hot.
Yeah, I heard when you said it was very hot, but I thought with a 27-kilometer-an-hour wind that it would make it a lot easier. That even though the sun was out, the breeze would make it manageable. Well, the breeze has stayed and the sun has disappeared, as you said.
Yeah, but when you came, Chris, you came straight to the tent. I was on the field doing the pre-game interviews.
Like myself.
It was very hot out there at the time.
Yeah. Yeah, well, certainly a lot cooler from by now. I don't ball into the area here. Looking for Lewis, and it's out for a corner, is it? Yeah. Deflection. Alton Lewis hasn't had much joy on the right-hand side of the attack so far. He's not found a lot of space. Player to watch, of course, Alton Lewis.
And so they're 1-1 at the moment, which is their scoreline in the first meeting they had.
December 21st, 2022. Good ball into the area by Lewis. The heads go up, and there's another deflection. I think that will be another corner, yes.
Yeah. Wellington got in the way there.
It was Matthews with the kick. Number 66, Christopher Matthews. And here it is with his orange boots. Kick there, yeah, deflected.
Yeah, Wellington got his right boot up there, yeah. I think it was heading for goal before the deflection, yeah.
Here is Lewis into the area. Out swinging delivery. Clear this time, then the kick coming in. And that will be easily handled. Tommy Lawrence there.
Good skill.
Rose. I think Rose forcing the issue a little bit too much there. Comes up to Fuller. I see what Jermaine Johnson has been seeing in Fuller. Very willing. And that was an elbow, you know. That was a bit of an elbow there.
And the assistant referee was pretty close to the action. Doesn't appear to be having much sympathy for the young player.
Ryan Wellington here. He was coming in. Just smacks him in the back of his head. So Wellington saying, youngster, don't run into me like that. Welcome to the Premier League. Fuller is still down. He will be okay. It wasn't actually an elbow. It was just a palm to the back of his head.
Yeah.
And I think Wellington was trying to send a message to him because he has been very busy, Fuller, and he's creating problems in the back line for Harbourview. So maybe Wellington using his experience. Wellington, of course, Fuller still a youngster, still a schoolboy at Excelsior.
Yeah, Price has come in here for the corner.
This was a moment that led to the penalty for Tivoli Gardens. Mackenzie fouled by Bennett. And Barrington Price would convert off the upright. That came after 8 minutes. Tivoli 1-0 ahead. Barrington Price is second of the season. Then, 17 minutes later, Demar Rose one time into the box. Timar Lewis with his 6th of the season into the ground and into the back of the net. Lovely finish from the head. 6 on the season for Timar Lewis. 1-1 after 25 minutes. And here we go from the corner flag. Still 1-1. 39th minute. Lewis again. Goes to the back post this time. And it was Simpson with his head to it initially. And yeah, awkward bounce there for Pennycook. And it would be out for a throw for Harbourview.
But I get what you're talking about with the desire and the intensity of this Tivoli team. You saw the pace that Pennycook chased that ball at.
Yeah, into the area again. And Kasim Priestley away with it. It has a stamp there. Here's Tommy Lawrence, the man who scored in that 1-1 draw in December. Lawrence, he hasn't been very active in this one so far. Ponytail Lawrence. There's a for Keena Simpson. Well, he's been in the thick of things so far, Simpson.
Yeah, he's that kind of player, though. He's
busy.
Yeah, and he's ready for the wars.
Yeah. Still limping is Simpson. Skillful player as well, Keena Simpson. 2 goals on the season for him. 4 in his Premier League career. Actually stepped across Murray and won the foul. That attempt is well wide from Lawrence and out for a goal kick. Just wondering, Lance, if you think, obviously, previously Tivoli were playing with a 4-4-2 formation. Jermaine Johnson didn't think it worked, so he wanted a more solid backline. So he's gone for the 3 centre-backs and a 3-5-2 where they can force the issue from the wide areas. Do you think that's working for him so far? They seem a lot more aggressive in terms of how they attack the 18-yard area of Harbourview.
Yeah, well, overall, in context, it may be working for them, but their biggest problem really has been scoring goals. I've seen them play matches where they haven't been winning. There's Edsa Scott, former Tivoli goalkeeper.
Into the area again, and that's calm defending there by O'Shane Staple. Off the chest and into the arms of Anthony Bennett. They look for the quick release, but Rose is never going to get there ahead of
I'm seeing
Pennycook.
I'm seeing a lot of desire in this Tivoli team. I think they're tired of not winning, and they came out with a lot of intensity and desire today. But to be fair, their main issue has been scoring goals.
Yeah.
I've seen them fail to win matches in the past month or so, that they haven't really played badly in open play. They just haven't taken the chances that they've gotten, which would, give them the opportunity to win games.
With the 2 wide midfielders, attacking midfielders, more opportunity to get players forward. And so far, we've seen more of that. My concern for them is that ball over the top, which may catch the centre-backs out of position.
Yeah.
And especially with a Price who is not that quick. You wonder if they will be able to be exploited anyhow. So far, I think it's been a better look in the first 45 minutes from Tivoli, even though it's all square.
Yeah.
And for example, here's Murray shrugging off the challenge. Murray, nice ball into the area for Rose. Ooh, Rose probably misjudging the speed of that ball and getting the better of him, Rose.
It looked as if it was traveling at a good pace for him to meet it.
Yeah,
and then all of a sudden, it just seemed to escape him.
Yeah, should have cut the angle. They always teach you that. Cut the angle. Don't try and run alongside the ball. It'll be quicker than you. Nice move though by Murray, just to shrug off the defense line of Tivoli. And the pass might have been a little bit too hard, but it was the right idea. Nice takedown there by Lawrence.
Yeah, good ball handling skills from Lawrence.
Into Fuller. He's been a live wire so far. Nice pass by Fuller. Is it too much on it? Yes, it is.
Yeah, too much weight. And too much weight on the pass.
And Lewis, who was overlapping. The ever ready Alton Lewis, but not even his speed was enough to keep it in. A lot for Jermaine Johnson to be happy about in terms of how his team have looked going forward. When you're playing with a 3-5-2 though, if you look at the moment that led to the goal from Keena Simpson, you just can't make those kind of mistakes, because then you will be exposed. You don't have that extra coverage. So that pass right across the middle, which was wayward, it then led the entire defense line open, and Harbourview certainly did make them pay. The man who made them pay is on the ball now, Timar Lewis.
Good in situations like those when he's in a position to take the ball to defenders.
Lawrence looking for the crossfield pass to Simpson, doesn't find him, and Staple does very well. Rose. Priestley used to wear the number 12, has now moved to the number 8 number. Looking for Odalyn Harding, who overlaps well and with pace, quicker than the rest is Harding, and he forces a challenge. Was it Lewis who was tracking back there?
Yeah, he was outpacing Lewis, and that sliding challenge from Lewis was
That's
necessary.
the matchup, Lance. Lewis versus Harding, and so far Harding probably having more joy. A couple good overlapping runs by the number 21 for Harbourview. Force the challenge. It will be another corner for Harbourview. I make it number 2 for them. And it will be Anglin again with the delivery. Again, he can't beat the first defender. Has to do better with the delivery. Does Anglin. Needs to get it in and around the penalty area. There are the Harbourview fans. They're up off their seats, wanted to see more goals. I'm sure they wouldn't settle for a 1-all scoreline. 2 minutes of stoppages. What has been I'd have to say a pretty even first half. Tivoli starting the stronger of the two, but Harbourview slowly but surely coming into things and doing better, I think, in the midfield there, Harbourview. As the game goes on, they've controlled it a bit better. Those short 10-yard passes.
Yeah, good recovery there from Priestley. His first touch was about to let him down.
Yeah. In the last game against Humberline, it was just Priestley really doing that work in the middle of the park, and he needed a teammate in there. But now with Anglin, who is very strong defensively as well, the two of them are keeping things solid. And of course, having this man, O'Shane Staple, in the right back position, even stronger. Throw to Tivoli. There's Priestley again in the thick of things, broken up by Tivoli. Here's Simpson looking for Garnett. Wayward pass comes to Anglin. Anglin, not sure what he was trying there, Anglin. That was never going to work.
Yeah, no, disappointing effort from Anglin.
Yeah. Even if Colorado Murray had started off his run, there's no way he would have gotten that. That was way too pacey from Anglin. That just needed a side-footed pass, soft one.
He would have had to have Usain Bolt written on his birth certificate to get to that ball.
And that's the end of the first half. So, Harbourview 1, Tivoli 1. Yeah, that man Barrington Price from the penalty spot after 8 minutes, giving Tivoli the lead. And then Timar Lewis with the head this time, adding his 6th of the season to make it all square after 25. But after 45 minutes, it's the 4th place Harbourview 1, 11th place Tivoli Gardens 1. Welcome back to the Ashenine Stadium on the grounds of Jamaica College. The Jamaica Premier League powered by Digicel, and after 45 minutes it's Harbourview, the defending champions, 1, Tivoli Gardens 1. Let's have a look at the first half highlights. Danian Parchment in charge of this fixture. And Tivoli Gardens, they were on the front foot from the get-go in their orange and black. Coming forward, Keena Simpson here, cutting just outside of the area, then getting in a tailing pass. Diego McKenzie going for the ball, and he was fouled by Anthony Bennett between the sticks and pointed to the spot right away, did Danian Parchment. What an opportunity for Tivoli Gardens, who hadn't scored in 523 minutes leading up to this moment. Barrington Price off the upright, his second of the season. Their big centre-back. No chance for Anthony Bennett. He almost fell in the goal as well with the ball. And that was a great start for Tivoli Gardens after just 8 minutes. They continued to press, and this an opportunity that should have been 2-0. Anthony Thompson hasn't scored so far this season. That should have been the second for Tivoli Gardens. They should have doubled their lead, and how it would cost them just 2 minutes later. Keena Simpson with the ball here, wayward pass, not sure who he was looking for, gave it up to DeMar Rose. DeMar Rose with this pass initially to Colorado Murray, pulled him a little bit wider than he would have expected, but this was a beautiful pass. One time onto the head of Timar Lewis, and that was a great header into the far side of the goal. Nicholas Clark, no chance between the sticks. Colorado Murray just playing it back to Rose, one time right onto the head of Timar Lewis. 6 on the season for the Harbourview number 11, and all square after just 25 minutes. No chance for Nicholas Clark. He was just taking it all in, and Danian Parchment had seen enough. Let's have a look at the first half statistics. 2 shots, just the 1 on target for Harbourview, and wow, didn't they make it count. 2 on target from 8 attempts for Tivoli Gardens, and some 10 fouls between the two. The 1 yellow card shown to Romain Brackenwich from Danian Parchment. There's been 6 corners, 4 for Tivoli, 2 for Harbourview. Majority of the possession for Harbourview, but after 45 minutes, it's all square at 1 apiece between themselves and Tivoli Gardens. We go to a break. When we come back, second half action and more. Yeah, welcome back. Lots of action here on the home of champions. JPL on SportsMax. Double holding coming up against Portmore live later this afternoon at 5:30 p.m. 6:30 ECT. And that will be the Portmore Derby, of course. And what a matchup that will promise to be. Well, 1-1 after 45 minutes. Harbourview, the Stars of the East, against Tivoli Gardens. Of course, the JPL powered by Digicel. Still here with Lance Whitaker. And Lance, Tivoli starting out well, but not finishing the half as intense as they would have hoped. And
yeah, their fans would feel that they should be leading 2-1 at the moment, because Anthony Thompson had an opportunity from point blank range almost and hit onto the crossbar. But Ludlow Bernard is smiling. He's level on, well, they're sharing the points at the moment. And with Krista J. Daly on the bench at the moment as a super sub option, I think Bernard is hopeful that, you know, there he is, that they can get 3 points from this fixture.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll be warming up shortly, and at some point we'll see the 20-year-old Daly, fresh from his exploits in Slovenia with FC Koper.
And a wonderful goal last week against Cumberland.
Oh yeah, very balanced player, low center of gravity. Quite left-sided, but such good balance on the field, good pass as well. So yeah, he will be a word for the orange and black when his time comes.
Yeah.
Anyhow, Tivoli, they're looking to make a change of their own. Justin Dunn, a 2-goal man so far this season. He'll be coming off for Diego McKenzie. So teenager for teenager, because of course Justin Dunn, just 19 years of age.
Yeah. And I think that has been part of Jermaine Johnson's issue with his young squad as well. Even though they aren't delivering in the way that you would want them to, he understands that many of them are really young players and they need time to develop and time to experience what the Premier League level is. So sometimes you have to be patient with these younger players.
Taking off his leading goal scorer, Diego McKenzie, though, who is just coming up back from injury. And yeah, Dunn gets his opportunity. Not wasting any time was Teddy Johnson. Must be thinking that even at 42 years of age, maybe he could still find the back of the net with the kind of quality he has. You certainly gave him food for thought, Lance Whitaker. You did say the body can't manage.
Yeah, I would think that at 42, that's it. He may be tempted, yeah, but that would all be in the head.
And you'd probably say that that's a step in the wrong direction for Tivoli as well.
Yeah, as they're building a new team, yeah.
Free kick for Harbourview. Kasim Priestley with it. Easy interception there for Wellington. Calm at the back line, and Tivoli so deep. I'm sure that wouldn't have been the instruction. They need to get players forward and keep the same level of intensity they started the match with. Playing that 3-5-2, it'd be interesting to see how the wide players, the level of fitness of Keno Simpson and Alton Lewis. Well, Alton Lewis has always been a fit player from his days at Veer. But whether Simpson will be able to do that back and forth, especially when Staples starts to put on his afterburners and get down that right-hand side. Yeah. And Lewis, he will have to be dealing with Timar Lewis. Timar doesn't overlap in the same way as Staple with that turbo speed. He's more of a tricky player, likes to cut inside. Yeah. So
Staple does his job with pace. Yeah. Just raw pace. He just sprints down the flank and puts defenders in trouble.
So that's the thing for me. Will they be able to press in the same way the wide players of Tivoli? And especially when you'd have to say, looking at the bench, that Harbourview with probably the stronger options, especially attacking wise. Anyhow, Fuller, well, no whistle on the play, he was looking for it.
Yeah, I thought he got a knock there close to the ribs from Wellington.
Oh yeah, Wellington is taking no prisoners. And this youngster, well, the youngster might not see it this way, but it's kudos to him, because the reason they're doing that is because they're worried about him. Yeah. Full. And when you're a young player coming into the big man's league, these kind of things are going to happen. They're going to try and leave their mark on you because they realize.
Yeah, he's earned their respect.
Exactly.
Yeah, even from the first half.
Bit of a deflection, but it stays in play. Clean up by the captain, Penny Cook. I'd say he's had a whole lot to do, Penny Cook, but
yeah, I'm so impressed with Penny Cook, though. I was impressed with him when I saw him at the 2021 season, and he looks even better now. Yeah, on the AstroTurf, and he looks even better now.
Very pacey. I thought he had a really good season last year as well in a struggling, well, Tivoli team that at one point was in the final playoff spot in 6th position and then fell away towards the end. I think by goal difference they didn't get through in the end. Finished 8th. But yeah, Penny Cook was one of the highlights for their season for sure. And he was one of the centre backs of the season overall.
Yeah. Here's Harbourview displaying their passing game. There are times they just appear as if they don't want to lose possession of the ball, so they're just making good, clean passes.
And move around well, so they're able to make short passes because they're moving off the ball. They're not static, which is a good sign. Lewis comes deep for it here. Nice into Priestley. First touch not the best by Priestley, so he puts himself under pressure but turns away well.
Yeah, it's about 12 or 13 unanswered passes already.
Staple not one to hang around, so he's looking to get forward, as we said. Wins a throw.
He'll strike this.
Priestley, yeah. And somewhat a similar result to what we saw against Humble Lion last week from Kasim Priestley. Quite a few of those 35-yard shots and all into orbit.
Yeah, disappointing for him.
Strong left foot, but doesn't score many of those, Priestley. And I think he should probably keep that in the locker for now and either shoot from closer distances or, you know, look for some passes in that area.
Yeah, I just think he's just a little over anxious to get the shots off, because when he's making those long passes from deep in midfield, he doesn't get that height. They're clean, low, driving passes, which he needs to emulate when he's striking at goal. But he's skying them when he goes to goal.
Just apologizes there because his pass was overplayed, looking for Lewis.
Has been a very impressive player from he was 11 or 12 years old. Caught the eyes of a lot of scouts and a lot of football purists in the country, seeing him at 13, 14, Kasim Priestley.
Yeah. Attended Kingston College, where he won schoolboy football titles as well. Played in a very similar role as well, Priestley. That central midfield, defensive midfield role.
Tommy Lawrence is off.
Yeah, and on is Nikhil Wright. Wright scored in the 2-1 loss against Harbourview last year, February. He was a lone scorer, in fact, for Harbourview on that, and for Tivoli on that occasion was Nikhil Wright. He scored 1 so far this season. In fact, that goal he scored last season was his only goal, which came against Harbourview. Young player from some football at St Andrew Technical as well. Attended there for a while under Philip Williams. In fact, it was when Philip Williams was at Tivoli Gardens coaching that Nikhil became a real part of the starting lineup for them. Warner Brown as well was in that starting lineup. Very talented forward who's gone overseas now for other opportunity. Anthony Nelson, who is still in the squad, a part of that St Andrew Technical forward line.
Yeah, that's what Lewis likes to do. He likes to take the ball to the defenders.
Yeah, nice pass out to Staple, and he's in an offside position. Just wonder though, Lance, that they're using Lewis, I guess because Staple is into the lineup, they have used Lewis on the left-hand side. But I wonder if when Lewis operates from the right, if they're better off, because then he can cut onto that left foot, and he does like to strike it from outside the 18-yard area.
Yeah.
If you notice his play on the left-hand side, he's not a natural winger where he looks to just cross the ball. I don't see a lot of that from him. He always wants to cut inside. But when he plays on the left, he doesn't really get off many shots. What he does do though is understand the width
Yeah.
of the field. Anyhow, free kick here to Tivoli. Played short, Garnett looking for Simpson, doesn't get there. Tivoli trying some short passes of their own. And then that long pass, not it looked like Lewis could have got there, but maybe a little bit too high for him from Garnett in the end, and Tivoli turn it over once again. Staple inside. It would be easy for Clark on the edge of his box. Nicholas Clark, really outstanding as a schoolboy goalkeeper. We did say that earlier when he was at Tivoli. 2014 was his season of prominence, was the top goalkeeper in the league that year in the Manning Cup. Hasn't been quite as prolific at the Premier League level, but his quality very much still there. Inside the area, into the box, and well, that should have been a better header from Alton Lewis.
Yeah.
Who got a free header and hit it straight down the throat of Anthony Bennett, who must have been quite happy to see such a routine save. And not very often Tivoli have gotten into the area, but that was a real opportunity yet again.
Yeah, good work down the flank again though.
Some keen battles in the wide areas, and on that occasion it was Simpson who got down there. Anyhow, wide ball again, and again it's overcooked by Murray. This time Rose keeps it in though. Rose into the area, and there's too much on that as well, and it goes over the head of Timar Lewis and out for a throw. But Timar Rose just saying to Murray that that pass didn't need to have so much pace on it.
Yeah.
It was really a pretty easy pass for Murray, and it should have been made. And Rose would have been clearly in with nobody marking that wide area. And again, we spoke about the need for those wide midfielders from Tivoli to get back, and there was none there on that occasion.
Yeah.
Staple on the right hand side, using his pace, but Pennycook has pace as well.
Yeah.
And matches him and sees it out for a goal kick. Well done by the Tivoli skipper.
Yeah, unless their defender would have probably fallen prey to Staples' move just now, but Pennycook is good in measuring and anticipating, and then he has the pace to recover.
Broken up in the midfield once again. Anglin showing good strength and skill. Well done by Anglin. Looking to release Staple, but again Pennycook was there. Now Simpson. His last delivery from the wide area is very good. Cuts into the box. Simpson willing to use his right foot. Comes to the substitute right. That dink over the top. Has too much on it, but takes a deflection and it's out for a corner.
Yeah.
Another chance for Alton Lewis to put a ball into the box. Alton Lewis, who had an opportunity a few moments ago with his head, should have done better. Let's see what he can deliver here from the corner flag. Good delivery, finds a Tivoli head again.
I think it was a handball.
Yeah. Badly timed, and it ended up coming off the hand of one of the Tivoli attackers.
Yeah, Staple is hurt.
Here's a delivery into the box, and yeah, the timing was bad, was it? It was Thompson again Anthony Thompson, who didn't get it right, and it came off the arm. This was the opportunity. Lovely ball with the right foot put in by Keno Simpson, and Alton Lewis with a free header. Should he just have gone near post there, Lance, instead of trying to go back across the keeper, because the keeper was coming from the far side.
Yeah, near post could have been a better bet. Yeah.
Yeah, and would have just been able to head down into the ground, and it would have certainly beat him.
He was sort of hanging as well for the header, so he wasn't able to get a lot of power on it. So he would have needed placement there.
Yeah.
He would have needed direction to beat the goalkeeper.
Yeah. Bennett was certainly happy to see that coming back towards him, because he was exposed. His left side definitely exposed Bennett. And that was a glorious chance again for Tivoli. They've had two clear opportunities where they should have done better. One in the first half, and now this one in the second.
A tight game this on the hour mark, Chris, because we saw the intensity that Tivoli started out with. Would have been difficult for them to keep that for 90 minutes, so Coach Johnson has injected a couple of fresh legs to try to keep the tempo up, to keep the pressure on Harbourview. But here Harbourview making changes as well, among them the number 10, Krista J. Daly, who was brilliant last week against Humberland. Has an injury issue that he's taking care of, we understand, and he isn't at the moment on his rebound able to play 90 minutes of football, so he's being used sparingly.
Shamari Dyer as well, more of a defensive change coming off of Joshua Anglin. That's a bit of a surprise. Let's see if what position Dyer goes into. Usually plays in the centre back role, but probably will be deployed in midfield to help Kasim Priestley.
Yeah, I think he's in holding midfield here.
Krista J. Daly, no surprise, he comes on for Roger Smith. You have to say like for like change, Roger Smith playing in the wide areas, but because Daly is not fully fit, he's unable to play 90 minutes. Of course, he is on a season-long loan from Holland United in Trelawney, which is run by Dwight Jeremiah.
Yeah.
And fresh from his exploits in Slovenia there with FC Koper. Krista J. Daly, just 20 years of age. Looking for him here, very silky on the ball is the number 10 Daly. Harbourview with the majority of the possession, 53%. As a slight drizzle starts here at the Ashenine Stadium. The sun is back out, but not without the rain.
Yeah.
This rain will just allow the ball to skip along the surface a lot quicker, make it greasy, as they would say.
Yeah.
So even more of a need to be technical in terms of your control and so on, and from the defender's perspective, have to be careful not to overcommit, because it could be caught out.
Yeah.
That's launched out of play. It will be a throw to Harbourview.
Yeah, Price taking no prisoners there.
So daily on, this will be a new battle for Keena Simpson, who has been causing a lot of problems down the left-hand side for Harbourview. But now with Daly on, another player, a very tricky player for him to keep his attention. Harbourview have a free kick. Into the back of Colorado Murray was Barrington Price. No real finesse to his tackling normally, Barrington Price. And Colorado Murray, a former Tivoli Gardens player.
There would have been a teammate of Price 5 or 6 seasons ago.
Yeah. He's really prolific there. His best season coming at Tivoli Gardens, where he lifted the golden boot with 13 goals. Krista J. Daly from the dead ball. He'll be whipping this in with his left foot. Well, that was interesting, around the wall. It was Timar Lewis who was attacking near post, with a little bit too much pace on the kick, and Lewis couldn't get there in time. Quick release by Tivoli, and they're looking to attack on the left-hand side of things again, broken up by Rose. look at the Tivoli bench, you wonder to yourself, who else could they go to? Could they go for the likes of maybe Horatio Morgan, who has some experience? A couple of seasons ago was the only man to score a hat-trick that year in the Premier League. Would add some width. There he is, Morgan. Where's the number 6? Probably that kind of player that could be a difference maker, but not a lot of goals off the bench or players who have created a lot of difference or a lot of mischief so far. They really need to break this drought, do Tivoli, in terms of wins. They've been going six match weeks without a win, Tivoli Gardens. Allowed to run by Staple. Of course, Tivoli Gardens are a team with such pedigree. 5 times they have won the Jamaica Premier League, and they have been runners-up on 4 occasions. Last won it in 2010, 2011. So it's been a while. As they say in Jamaica, it's been a minute.
Yeah, their season has been a bit tame from day one, Chris. They had won just one of their first 9 matches for the season. So there was never a point in this season that Tivoli were flourishing. They did go on a 3-game win streak in January with wins over Waterhouse, Malines and Mo Bay. But outside of that, their season has been a bit of a struggle.
And that was a story of them last season as well. They went through, as you say, a little purple patch, and then very inconsistent their results. And goal scoring was an issue as well last year, and it's turned out this way anyhow.
Their only win from their first 9 games came against Chapelton, and I guess that tells the story.
But have jungling in the midfield.
Oh, well done.
Now overlapping play. Lewis into the area, lovely ball right along the 6-yard box. And yeah, well,
Dunn thinks he was fouled. That's done, isn't it?
Harbour View think they defended well.
Yeah.
And based on Daniel Parchment, it was a fair challenge.
Yeah.
He was under a lot of pressure by 2 players was done, but what work it was by Alton Lewis in that wide right area.
Yeah, and the dummy from there it is. There was a challenge.
Not much in it though.
No.
Just under pressure. It was a difficult ball for him to cushion as well because of the bounce in front of him, but I don't think Lewis could have done it any differently.
Was it Fuller with a dummy though? He did. The pass came to him and he didn't take it. Allowed the ball to run to the fast-moving Lewis on the outside.
Simpson looking to get it in the area. Simpson has been really good for Tivoli so far this afternoon. The sun is out in all its glory now. The rain has disappeared. And we're back to the Lance Whitaker heat.
Garnett.
Yeah. Pushing forward. He's been quiet so far, Garnett.
Yeah.
Outside to Fuller. Fuller's pulled wide in the last 10 minutes or so. Broken up anyhow to Rose. Rose. That pass was too central though, you know. It's cleared out. Anyhow, the game is a little bit more open now. A little bit more aggression as well. Both teams eager to get a win and don't want to make a mistake. Staple on the go, and yeah, he's fouled. Parchment trying to play the advantage, but there was none.
Yeah. It's Rickon Cook who appears to be warming up on the sideline there for the Tivoli Gardens team, so
yeah,
even more fresh legs coming for Tivoli Gardens. Thompson gets a yellow card.
Second yellow card of the match. Wellington with the Brackenridge actually with the other. So one for each. And it's a free kick to Harbourview.
Priestley wants it.
Into the area, dangerous. And well, the header just wide from Colorado Murray. That was a lovely delivery by O'Shane Staple. Actually, Kasim Priestley with it. And just wide. Kasim Priestley with the left foot. Looking for Murray, found him.
Yeah.
And Murray couldn't find the far post. Or inside of the far post.
He was aiming for it. You saw him aiming for it. But brilliant delivery there from Priestley. He got himself clear with a unchallenged header, so he will feel that he should have done better.
Yeah, so much quality. 43 goals in his Premier League career. Colorado Murray should have at least hit the target there. Another foul on the play. This time Dyer with the challenge. I wonder if instead of playing the 4-3-3, if they have moved to a 3-man backline lines with Dyer coming on, because he is playing rather deep, and then Harding and Staple allowed to play as flank wing backs, if you want to call it, midfielders.
Well, if Bernard thinks that that will get them goals, that could be it, because I think he wants a win here. I don't think Harbourview will be satisfied with a drawn result.
No.
20 minutes remaining.
Another chance for Tivoli to put something into the area. Into the business area it is, and into the back of the net. Well, not the man you would expect to be scoring. Barrington Price with his second of the afternoon, and another really good delivery by Alton Lewis, the player to watch. Barrington Price with the finesse into the far triangle. Tivoli 2, Harbourview 1 after 71 minutes.
Oh, that looked really good. Really, really good. A finish from with the skill of a front line player. Yeah, it was deliberate. He just slid the ball in. Yeah, that looked neat from the central defender. Two goals now.
That was a lovely finish by Price. I don't think any of the forwards could have done it any better.
Yeah, I'd have to check the records to see if he's ever scored twice in a Premier League match. This is like his 12th or 13th Premier League season, but I don't remember Barrington Price getting a brace in a football match in the Premier League.
No, it's his 13th of his Premier League career, third of the season, and really good finish by the big centre-back. He must have been hearing us in the first half. I did say not known for finesse at all, Barrington Price. I was talking about his tackling, but lovely finish there. And no chance for Anthony Bennett. Work for Harbourview to do, the defending champs. It must be said though, Alton Lewis right throughout the game has been putting some good deliveries into the area from the corner flag and from the dead ball as well. So there was no surprise there. Just put it into an area he did that would have been very uncomfortable for Harbourview to defend. Right into that penalty spot area, as they would say, area of uncertainty, and that was ferocious from, was it Staple in the wide area? Hard to believe he was going for goal there, but Clark was equal to the task.
Yeah, knowing Staple, I'm not shocked that he tried from there, because he has a lot of confidence in his kicking ability. And I thought that was deliberate.
He had Clark busy. Corner into the area, free header, and Clark touches it over the bar once again.
Yeah.
Well done by Nicholas Clark. It was the captain Wellington with the header, and it was on target. And as expected, the defending champions are not going to go away quietly. Into the area yet again. Clark is there. Is he fouled? Yes, he is. Yeah, follow through by Lewis, I think. And
referee Parchment very sharp and alert with a whistle.
There was a follow through there on Clark, and let's hope he's okay. Matthews is still down as well.
Always dangerous situations there for goalkeepers, Chris, because goalkeepers will get low.
This was it here.
Yeah.
Ooh, it was DeMar Rose with the ball into the area. Murray went to challenge. It was probably the boot of Murray actually that ended up. Clark is still grimacing in pain. Not a good sign.
Yeah. Yeah, the goalkeeper's role different from other players, and he will get low. He goes for the ball with his hands and so on. So with these boots flying around close to his body and his head, every chance for goalkeepers to get hurt in place like those.
Jaheim Orr is the reserve goalkeeper. He's up off the bench and going through some form of stretching. I'm not sure Clark is going to be okay. Still struggling with the ankle. You remember earlier in the game he did get a knock from Timar Lewis,
yeah,
and he did go down and had to get treatment. That must be concerning for Jermaine Johnson. Young Orr, he looks pretty relaxed.
You know, so Tivoli, without any goals in 5 matches, now get 2 this afternoon and are 15 minutes away from a victory if they can get it.
Yeah, what a win this would be for Tivoli. So this was a moment that put them ahead. Alton Lewis into the area, and Barrington Price with a unique finish. And a lot of touch involved from the big centre back. And Alton Lewis with an assist as well. His first of the season. Price with his second of the game and his third of the season. And yet a big moment for Tivoli Gardens, who currently are in 11th position. Clark is back up on his feet. A win here would take Tivoli up to 21 points, would actually carry them into 9th position. So they would jump up from 11th to 9th for the time being. They would leapfrog Malines and Mobe United. So this would be a big win. It would be their 5th of the campaign in 19 matches. A big result it would be for Jermaine Johnson. He's tried so many things. Today, the first, he's decided to go to a 3-man back line, to play a 3-5-2 instead of his regular 4-4-2. And I can tell you at half-time, it's actually 1-1 between Mobe United and Fear United. So that's a good sign for them. Humble Lion, they lead Arnett Gardens by a goal to 0. Omario Walters with the goal for Humble Lion after 45 minutes. So Jaheim Orr is getting ready. Of course, goalkeeper from Kingston Technical is Jaheim Orr, and this was a moment that is causing problems for Clark. There is Murray coming in. What happened there, Lance? Did his foot get caught under the body of Colorado Murray? Because it's definitely not contact onto his ankle.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
He's looking a little better. I mean, Jaheim Orr has put on his match shirt. He's taken off the bib, so he's prepared. Here he goes, slides there. I think his legs get caught under the body of Colorado Murray. Well, he's back up and he's somewhat moving around, so let's see. He's going to try and continue. But yeah, big results coming in. Gar Stewart is about to come on for Harbourview. But yeah, a draw for Mobe would mean that they move to 21, joint with Tivoli if the win is completed. Tivoli have a better goal difference. Anyhow, players restarted. And Harbourview in possession. And the goal down. The last time Tivoli defeated Harbourview came in on the 7th of August in 2021. A 3-1 win for Tivoli Gardens. And yeah, Kimar Flemings and Alexander, the goal scorers on that day. Alexander actually doing a double, no longer in the Premier League. You remember Alexander, Lance?
Yes.
Stewart, confirmation of him coming in for Brackenridge. So that's an interesting change as well. Stewart usually plays in midfield. Whistle on the play is going to be a free kick to Harbour View.
Stewart along with Jamoy Topi, among the tallest players in the Premier League.
Yeah. So Brackenridge off, who was playing in the centre-back role. He's brought on Stewart. Has been used as a striker before. I wonder what he's going to be used as today. Not a centre-back, clearly. Daly with the delivery. Good delivery into the area, and he was looking for Stewart, you know, who looked like he might have gotten a touch, but well defended by Tivoli. Harbour View come forward again into the area. Well defended.
Yeah, smartly done.
Yeah, into the arms of Clark, who, let me tell you, he's not moving. He's not moving as well as they would like. He's going to have to come off, Clark. Yeah. Because Daniel Parchment is not going to allow for this to continue.
Yeah.
This regular situation of him going down. So they're going to be forced to make a change. And Jaheim Orr, the youngster from Kingston Technical High School, what a big moment this will be for him. And being spoken to by one of the best schoolboy keepers, I would say, of all time, maybe in Jamaica schoolboy football.
Yeah, well, you would say one of, so
yeah.
I don't think, you know, you would be that much challenged. Edso Scott.
Standout keeper for St. George's.
And he was keeping for Tivoli even at 40.
Yeah.
39, 40 years old, he was still keeping for Tivoli Gardens.
And for his height, he was amazing in terms of his spring and how he could get to balls in the top L, or the pigeon, as we would say in the Caribbean. Yeah, he was really amazing at schoolboy level. Lifted the title in 1992 with St. George's College, but passing on his words of experience to Jaheim Orr. The SportsMax app moment, brought to you by the SportsMax app. And it's this moment from Tamar Lewis, started and orchestrated by DeMar Rose. Pass out wide, finding Murray, and then into the box, one-timed, and onto the head of Tamar Lewis, who made no mistake, into the ground. And it's sped past Clark into the back of the net for his 6th of the season. Tamar Lewis, half a dozen. And that was 1-1 after 25 minutes. The SportsMax app moment.
Yeah, good to see Tamar Lewis getting a headed goal there. Just pouncing on a really good cross from DeMar Rose, and the work down the right side by Colorado Murray.
Still waiting for the change to be made. Clark has not come off yet, so he's going to try further. Or is making his way back to the bench, it seems, so let's see how that goes. Thing is, yeah, it's all well and good when he's just holding the ball like that, but what happens when he has to make a quick move with Harbour View attacking the area?
Yeah, whatever it is it's his left leg or his left foot.
Yeah.
Because he was there hopping just now, and the left leg wasn't, or the left foot wasn't touching the ground.
Still limping.
So he was taking pressure off the left leg.
So Tivoli, lots to play for here. A chance to move up the table with a big win. It will be their first win in 6 matches. His first win in 7 matches, actually. What a big deal that would be. This man has had a good game, Keno Simpson.
Yeah.
On the left-hand side. Did have a bad moment where he gave away the ball that led to the goal, but apart from that, he's been really good. He's on the left-hand side. He's been involved in most of the Tivoli attacks. He's won a lot of free kicks for Tivoli as well, and he's kept the defense line of Harbour View busy. And maybe had Tivoli had better finishing, he might have had an assist or 2 already too.
Yeah.
He's down again.
has a word there quickly with the assistant referee, as if disappointed that the referee didn't spot something.
Yeah. Another free kick for Tivoli. Crossfield ball looking for Lewis. Lewis will get there first in the wide area. Doesn't have much help waiting on it. If instead gives it to Timar Lewis, who tries an ambitious pass to Colorado Murray. That doesn't come off. They need to get busy. Do Harbour View. Their winning streak of 3 wins in a row about to be broken. Rose loses out to Simpson. Challenge coming in by us from Shane Staple. 6 minutes approximately and stoppages to come. And Tivoli doing well. They have the ball, they have the lead. Lewis forced to go deep. Again, the pass does not get to its target. And Tivoli drive forward. Done. Inside, looking for Wright. Woken up again by Wellington. From a Harbour View perspective, Wellington, he's been good. Oh, Harding. Nice pass to Murray. Murray looking for Daly, but it's not going to get there. Daly really hasn't seen the ball at all, apart from the dead ball opportunities since coming on.
Yeah, I think he's been closely watched.
Yeah, here he is now in the wide area. Oh, lovely skill by Christopher Daly into the area. And can't get it past Nicholas Clark, who made himself big. And there was no sign of an ankle injury there. What skill that was by Christopher Daly, just through the legs.
So much quality, so much quality.
Yeah, his change of pace, amazing there. And the center of gravity, so good. Look at this here. Odin Pennycook, no easy defender to get around, and he didn't even know what had happened there. And Clark did well. Into the area, finds Gar Stewart, and is again broken up by Team Pennycook.
Yeah.
Wow, what defending by Pennycook, the captain.
Yeah, a lot of heart and desire in this Tivoli team now. They're 5 minutes away from a victory, and they don't want it to slip here.
And there goes Clark again. Maybe working the clock as well, Clark. I think he's genuinely injured, but he doesn't want to come off, and I can understand why. His team have a lead. He has an inexperienced reserve keeper on the bench. A schoolboy.
Yeah, and they know that Harbour View has the quality offensively to test an inexperienced goalkeeper. So
there's Radico Wellington, who is on the bench. He's out injured with a knee injury. He was a leading goal scorer last year. Wore the captain's armband for a while as well. Radico Wellington, 7 goals on the season last year, which was his best return in a Premier League season. He's done the rounds as well.
Look, massively frustrated last time out when Tivoli lost. He came off, probably because of that injury.
Radico, that is.
Radico, yeah. And I thought he was in tears. He looked really emotional at the time.
Yeah. He scored only twice so far this season.
Yeah, at the time we were figuring it's because of how the team was playing and they weren't scoring and they were losing again. But it's possible now that it's also because of the injury that he had, that everything just, collapsed on him and he felt dejected.
Well, a change was made as well. Fuller is off. The youngster, Excelsiorian.
I thought he had a good game.
Yeah, he did. And brought on for him is Tevin Brown in the number 28. Kalia Fuller. He looked impressive, and he's something to work with from a Jermaine Johnson standpoint. Sean Daly is also on for Demar Rose. So both number 28s getting some minutes. But yeah, back to Radico Wellington, was heavily frustrated. One of the best dead ball takers, I would say, in Jamaica Premier League. Very good from the dead ball. It's always been criticized that more needs to come from him in open play, but from the dead ball, with a penalty, free kick or otherwise, he is excellent.
constantly threatening.
Yeah, and he would be a big miss for this team as well, especially with his experience. Coming from the days of when he was at Marvel Huenden back in, what, 2016, I think that was.
Just about,
Yeah, had a pretty good season with them and so on. Anyhow, he's not here to help them this afternoon, but they're winning without him at the moment. And another ball put into the area, strong defending. Again, it's from the captain, Ryan Wellington, who will leave something on Nakil Wright this time. Take the free kick quickly, do Harbour View, looking for Stewart, who actually is being deployed as a centre forward.
Yeah, that's where he is. That's where he is.
With his height. They're looking to get the high balls into there and hope that Stewart can get something on the end of it. Hasn't scored so far this season though, Stewart. And that's a wasted pass from a Tivoli perspective. Into the final minute of regular time. We're hearing from the fourth official that we're expecting 9 minutes of stoppages.
Wow.
Lance.
That's
another half.
Yeah. The goalkeeper stoppages.
Yeah, nice ball into the area, but not well controlled. And it goes out. Was that Sean Daly? Yes, it was the substitute.
Yeah, the ball came up with a lot of pace, though. It was difficult for him to get a quality first touch in.
Luckily, it's out for a goal kick from a Tivoli perspective. Price with it. The hero for this Tivoli team so far, with a brace.
Yeah. Appears to be a shoe-in for the man of the match.
Yeah, I would say he's making a strong case. Narissa Golson does confirm, but it's actually 10 minutes and not 9.
Wow.
So they've added more. So lots of time for Harbour View. Harding into the area, looking for Stewart. Strong defending there again by Pennycook.
Yeah. I thought Garth Stewart was shoved over there.
There was an arm in the back. The Indian Parchment doesn't think so. And there's a whistle on the play. Murray challenging illegally. Look at his face. He doesn't agree, but it won't matter. Alton Lewis is down. Faulta. Tivoli guards. Look here. Well, yeah, he had that high arm into the face of Lewis. I think that's a good call. There was a touch there from Pennycook.
Yeah.
I'm not sure it was enough though to give a penalty, and he didn't actually extend his arm.
I've seen those given.
You've seen those given. I think fear not to have given it. Wellington to Harding. Passing around their defensive here. They need to be careful to Harbour View. A third goal for Tivoli certainly would seal it at this point. Daly has been forced to come deep to collect. Broken up well in the middle of the park. Comes to Wright, the substitute.
Tivoli with their numbers in midfield, Chris.
Yeah.
Making it count.
Yeah, getting a lot narrower.
Yeah.
To close down the spaces. Nice ball put into the area. And Barrington Price was there yet again. Clark was hobbling over to it, but couldn't prevent a corner. Good defending by Price though. Corner to Harbour View. Krista J. Daly to take it. Not a good delivery. Not a good delivery by Daly. Needed to get that deeper into the box. More height needed. He'll have another chance though.
Yeah,
no, he won't.
For the most part, we haven't seen. For the most part, the corners haven't been good today.
No. Well, actually, to be fair to Alton Lewis, they haven't been bad. Lewis actually has got it past the first defender every time. But from a Harbour View perspective, both Joshua Anglin and Daly have been short. Tivoli with it. Simpson. Another player's had a good game, apart from his one error. Murray showing good speed there, but it's cleared out by Matthews. Pennycook, the captain, he's had a solid affair as well.
Yeah.
Here's Priestley out to Harding. Inside to Daly. Daly who will switch flanks. Nice 1-2 play inside the area. Chance for Harbourview and cleared off the line.
By Price.
Price again. Well, he's just solidifying his position as the MVP, is Barrington Price. A brace and 2 telling defensive clearances in the last 5 minutes or so. Barrington Price, he's not giving up these points, I can tell you that. Nice 1-2 play in the area. Harding with a good delivery, headed towards the back post, and Daly was making himself a new, was that? Yeah, Sean Daly inside there. No, it was Timar Lewis actually was getting in there.
Yeah.
Well done by Price.
Yeah, the goalkeeper was getting there, but probably Price felt he wasn't getting there quickly enough, so he took the job into his own hands. And again, we see injured to the goalkeeper, Clark.
Clark is up again.
Yeah, so don't be surprised if you see the stoppage time go beyond the 10 minutes added.
Yeah, it's actually a throw in to Tivoli. They don't get it very far. Then Priestley drives it, and this was a better attempt by Priestley. We've criticized his shooting. This one was lower, but wide.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, Clark was in trouble there because he has that ankle injury. He's unable to get the spring to dive towards anything or get there. So he was late. It was actually well wide in the end. Yeah. Well wide in the end by Priestley. Came off the inside of his boot in the end.
I know they're saying it's just probably 5 minutes left in here, but I think the reserve goalkeeper would be a better bet now than to have Clark still there.
Yeah, because he's clearly not moving well. And if a proper ball comes across his area, he's going to struggle.
Yeah.
He's going to allow a tap in through to Harbourview. This is the first time Tivoli have managed more than 1 goal since the 29th of January. A 3-goal defeat. A 3-goal win against Mobay United. Anyhow, Harbourview looking to come forward again. Lewis inside, looking for Daly. Daly miscontrols it. You don't say that very often. Confusion at the back. Wellington does well. That could have been.
Yeah, but he got ball. The tip of the bench.
Right, almost through.
Yeah.
Priestley over the top, wide, looking for Lewis, and it's a difficult ball to control. Kasim Priestley not making the best decisions in this latter part of the second half. I would say at this point, about halfway through the stoppages, because yes, it does say 10 minutes, but I think there will be another minute or so added. Pennycook with the clearance and received a yellow card a short while ago for time wasting. Referee Daniel Parchment has out the card again, or is that the... No, it's the card to Pennycook. So the captain booked. 3rd yellow card, I make it, of the afternoon. 2 to Tivoli. Well, another card for time wasting. Yeah, this time, is it? No, it wasn't. It was Matthews, Christopher Matthews, getting a yellow card. They're desperate for this win, Tivoli. That's not how you waste time, though. You need to waste it with the ball. Nice move inside the area. He looked like he might have been offside, but there was no call. Nakil Wright. And they get it away, does Dyer. Good defensive work by Barrington Price. He's had a stellar of a game, has the big number 5. I think he's sending a message to his coaching staff as well. You leave me out, and this is what I can do. He's played very well. It's been a mature performance.
Yeah, one of the best performances I've seen from Price.
Here is Shamari Dyer getting the ball into the area. Obviously, we're looking for Garth Stewart Murray wins the header. They go up again. Murray again.
Wow.
And Clark does well. He looked like he was in a spot of bother at first, did Nicholas Clark. Almost looked like he ran past it. Well, good hands. And yeah, they get to burn up more time. Long clearance broken up by Priestley. Tivoli Gardens looking for their 5th win of the season. I would make it about 2 minutes away. Harbourview continue to come forward. Lewis, can he get it into the area? He does, but it's weak. And well, it's a penalty. Well, Damian Parchment thought about it, delayed the call, and then blew the whistle. Very similar to the incident that happened in the first half.
Yeah.
A yellow card to Stewart as well. What a big moment this is. The call from Parchment is that Nicholas Clark fouled the player. Let's see, Clark comes here. That's,
yeah.
Wow. I think they're lucky. I think they're lucky to get that, Harbourview. Garth Stewart comes across.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
goalkeepers will always suffer in situations like these.
Yeah. Hand on the foot of Stewart, but did he pull him down though?
Yeah, the referees call those.
Yeah.
Referees call
Fair
those.
enough.
Yeah, because there was contact.
There was
yeah,
contact.
There was contact. Yeah.
A very similar incident to how Tivoli were awarded their penalty in the first half that Barrington Price converted. It was a foul by Anthony Bennett on Diego McKenzie. This time it's Clark on Stewart. And I guess from an officiating perspective, you would say there's consistency there.
Yeah. So we're on to 10 minutes now, stoppage time added on.
Christopher Daly to take the penalty. Scored last week in open play against Humber Lion. Can he score the 2nd of the season and earn his team a point? Daly against Clark. And he scores. That was very easy.
Yeah. Power placement. Clark had no chance, especially being at 60% and his mobility affected. Yeah. So Harbourview earning a point here in a game that they had appeared destined to lose.
Well, things going on the field now. Unfortunate. Alton Lewis in the thick of things. Damian Parchment has his card out and he's about to flash it, I can tell you.
Referee's whistle went for full time, didn't it?
The ball is in the middle of the field. I don't think so. I don't think so. The ball has been centered. Anthony Bennett is carded by Parchment.
Yeah.
I don't think the game is over at all. The ball is in the middle of the field.
Yeah.
They will have to play it. I'm guessing as they kick it off, the whistle will go. Here's the incident. The ball was taken, then all of a sudden, Alton Lewis gets into the face of Garth Stewart. Lewis doesn't want anybody touching him, and then he's approaching Stewart.
And Stewart is putting his hands behind his back to say, I've done nothing.
Well, that's it. 90 minutes complete. Damian Parchment blows the whistle. And, well, some would say a controversial moment to end it all, but at the end of it, a point each. Tivoli 2, Harbourview 2 after 90 minutes.
Well, it was a good game. It was a good game in the end. 2-2 the final score. Tamar Lewis getting Harbourview's opening goal, which brought them back. But tempers flaring towards the end, and this man, Christopher J. Daly, with a penalty strike, tying things up at the end. Yeah, so Tivoli getting a 2-2 scoreline here. They didn't win. They appeared as if they were about to win, but getting 2 goals in a match after 5 games without scoring outside of an own goal that they benefited from, satisfying for them. Daniel Parchment with a whistle. Tivoli Gardens on the attack early. Keno Simpson on the left flank, driving inside. He squeezes the ball in here. And Mackenzie's taken down. And referee Parchment points to the penalty spot. Yeah, there it is. Mackenzie tumbles over from the challenge from Bennett. Barrington Price, the central defender, 11 years of Premier League experience, makes no mistake from the penalty spot. 1-0 for Tivoli Gardens after 8 minutes. Former captain of the team he is. Opportunity there for Tivoli Gardens, but Anthony Thompson from the 6-yard box crashes onto the crossbar. Oh, that should have been another Tivoli goal, but it wasn't. Keno Simpson gives the ball away here in the middle of the park. Timar Rose down to the flank, sees that Colorado needs some assistance here, goes to give him the assistance, whips the ball in one time, and Timar Lewis, 6th goal of the season, firm header. Good work there from Timar Rose. It was his pass that sent Colorado Murray through, and then assisted Murray, and then the cross, and Lewis with a strike. 1-1. Nicholas Clark had no chance there. Tivoli had the desire and the strength to keep going. But the header on goal there from Lewis. Easy for Bennett in the Harbourview goal. Good work here from Lewis down the right flank. His cross inside. And close shave there for Harbourview, but their defender Staple doing some good work. Header on goal by Colorado Murray, but just wide, as Harbourview look for the go-ahead goal there. Price, 2nd goal of the afternoon, just sliding the ball in one time and putting Tivoli ahead here. Harding with that was Staple with a strike from on the right side. Nicholas Clark had some injury issues, but he brought off some valuable saves. Krista J. Daly, 2nd half substitute, creating problems here for the Tivoli defense. Here he is again. Stewart going in for the header. Clark would get himself hurt there on that play. And here's Garth Stewart, late substitute, tripped by Nicholas Clark, the Tivoli goalkeeper. Parchment gives a penalty. Krista J. Daly accepts with glee. 11 minutes into stoppage time, and 2-2 the final score. Harbourview and Tivoli Gardens. They were 1-1 when they met first in the season, 1-1 again today. 10 shots attempted on goal by Harbourview, 4 on target. 11 attempted by Tivoli Gardens, also 4 on target. 20 fouls in the match, most of them committed by Tivoli Gardens players, 12 of them. 7 yellow cards, 4 for Tivoli Gardens, 3 for Harbourview. 5 corners forced by the Tivoli Gardens team, 4 for Harbourview. 3 saves made by the Tivoli goalkeeper Clark. Bennett only required to make 1 save for Harbourview, and it was Harbourview with more ball possession at 53%.
Barrington, tough result for you and the team today in terms of just earning a point after you thought you had 3 in the back, but talk to me about your performance as well. Big at the back, and then a brace. Have you ever scored a brace in the Premier League before?
Yeah, I do it already, but not on a regular basic. Unfortunately, I just give thanks to get the double. Yeah.
And talk to me about that second finish as well. You're quite proud of the finish. I saw the celebration as well. A lot of finesse to put that into the far corner. Something you practice?
No, not really. Just come up on a regular basic sometime. You know what I say? We get a good touch on me. Yeah, just give thanks to the Almighty.
And a bit of a change in terms of the back line. Instead of going with a 4, it was a 3-man back line with 3 of you in the centre-back region. How much did that work for you, and how much did you enjoy that position?
Yeah, we enjoyed pretty well. In the training, in the week. We do it on a regular basis to try practice to become perfect, and in the match to come out with 1 point. It did go good so far in the 3 back in first of the 4th.
All right, Barrington, congrats on your 2 goals today. Unfortunate that you only come away with a point, but good performance, solid from you.
Yeah, I just net 2 there. I just put it for my mother that just passed away for last month. I just rest in peace to my mother.
Condolences to you and your family.
Yeah, respect.
Barrington Price there, our man of the match for today, our big number 5 and Tivoli centre back, and scoring a brace as well to earn his team a point. Ludlow Bernard now comes into frame. Ludlow, it was a tough match against a Tivoli opposition as usual, but stealing a point in stoppage time, at least something to leave the game with.
Yeah, but still very disappointed at the nonchalant approach you took at the beginning of the game, you know. And I think that is something that we'll have to address going forward, because we have some very competitive games coming up and we can't afford to be starting games this way. I thought that we gave Tivoli too much room to really do what they did, you know, and a team that is really on the ropes, we needed to give them the knockout punch. We didn't seem interested at all in doing that. Hence, we had to fight at the latter part. The energy that was displayed at the latter part of the game was something that should have been displayed from the beginning. I
actually thought in the first half for sure that Tivoli started the more intense of the 2 teams, put you under pressure early.
That's
but
right.
I thought in the middle of the park in the first half, Harbour were actually playing pretty well, even though you didn't create a lot of opportunities.
That's right, and it speaks to sometimes some of the way we play and the players that we have inside here with a host of midfield players. I think we have to find outlets to really get the ball going forward and people arriving. Other games would have allowed us to do that. Clearly Tivoli did their homework and they really managed to stifle us. But I think the very direct and aggressive approach we took in the latter part of the game was probably how we should have approached it in the beginning.
All right, probably a point at the end of it and an even call. All the best to you in the weeks to come.
Thank you very much.
Ludlow Bernard there, head coach of Tivoli Gardens. Coach, disappointing end for you in terms of the result. You would have thought you had 3 points in the bag, obviously. Disappointed to give away a goal at that point in the second half?
Well, yeah, very disappointed, you know, but you know, the fight, we take the positive out of it, you know, we fight. I see they see a change in the team, how they play. You can see the determination. So we just have to continue building on this now.
It was clear to me that Tivoli obviously didn't think that it was a penalty. Was it just disappointment that the penalty was given away, or did you think that the wrong call was made?
Well, I have to see it back tonight and then we make up my mind. But to me, it didn't look like him touch him or if that thought, but for really I can't comment on that right now.
All right, talk to me about the change in formation as well. Usually you'd be playing a 4-4-2. I asked Barrington about this. Now you've moved to the 3-man backline with a 3-5-2. Do you think the team looked better today in terms of how you've played?
Yeah, you know, we start with last week, Sunday we play for Sunday when we played 3-5-2 and we see that, okay, this is a formation that can give the team a little bit more in the middle of the park and a little more stability around the back. And we have 3 quality, I think 3 of the best defenders in the country. So we just say we just use them at once and it worked dividends for us.
A quick word about the youngster Fuller from Excelsior who you employed up front today. Exciting talent and he looked good for a lot of it. Nicalia Fuller.
Yeah, very, very much. You can see it in training him. Show that he want to play and then he come in the game and he carry that same energy. And as we said to them, once you train and show that you want to play, you don't play football. So once you really want to play, we are going to put you out there to play. And him come and him give a good account for himself. But it was from the last game. Him come on the last game and change the game for us. And we decide that, listen, we're going to reward you and come today and give us a very good game again.
We hope the positive energy from Tivoli continues. All the best in the weeks to come.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, so there's a story from pitch side, and Tivoli Gardens getting a result here in a 2-2 draw. First time scoring 2 goals in a match since January the 29th, and Barrington Price becomes the first man to score for Tivoli since the 5th of February. Nikhil Wright scored, had a double this afternoon, and dedicated his double to his late mom who passed away last month. Tivoli Gardens 2, Harbour View 2 in the opener from the Ashenheim Stadium in Kingston.